Hello, everybody. Welcome to a tropical update here. This is the YV Atlantic right now. Only one thing going on right now, and that, of course, is high-end tropical storm ETA, currently going on in the Central Caribbean right now. This, of course, what the formation of ETA marks. This season ties 2005 in terms of total record number of named tropical cyclones in an Atlantic hurricane season. So we're tied with 2005 at this point in time for that record, which is just absolutely amazing to see. Even just given the fact that we're in really early November here, actually on my birthday, nonetheless here. There's a tropical cyclone going on. I really hope that there wouldn't be a tropical cyclone going on my birthday here, but unfortunately we're seeing that right now. So here's take a closer look at tropical storm ETA right now. Like I said, it's a high-end tropical storm as of the 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time advisory number 6. Center is currently located at 14.9 degrees north, 80.0 degrees west. Maximum sustained 1-minute winds at 70 miles per hour. Moving due west at 13 miles per hour, and it is forecast to become a Category 3 major hurricane just before landfall in either Nicaragua, perhaps on the northern tip of Honduras there. On this forecast cone here, it's forecast to make a 115 mile per hour Category 3 landfall. It looks like Tuesday morning there, but it looks good on this forecast cone. So really dangerous and life-threatening scenario in play here for Nicaragua and Honduras here. And even in the last little point there in that forecast to have it go back up north here and eventually perhaps temporarily over open water again. So it'll be interesting to see if the storm tries to get going again. If it does go back out in the water for a short period of time. Here's a look at the key messages from the National Hurricane Center here in El Salvador right now, and I read this, but pretty much the main threat here, most of the main threat, the three main threats here, of course, is storm surge here, heavy rainfall, and of course, those really strong winds here, because of course it is forecast now to be a major hurricane here at landfall. And here's the Spanish version of that as well. So like I said, the key takeaways here is one, heavy strong winds that are going to occur in the eye wall of this storm, heavy rainfall that's going to occur in this storm, and the storm surge along the coast, it could be around 10 to 15 feet or so of a storm surge, what they're predicting, I believe, at this point in time. From this, later down the line, is forecast to be a hurricane here, and you can easily see why they forecast to become a major hurricane here. Just look at the satellite imagery here. It's a classic looking classic rapid intensification looking storm here, but it looks good on satellite imagery. At this time of this recording, there's a reconnaissance aircraft scheduled to go into the storm here shortly. So we'll get information on what that plane says here in a little bit here when they get in. Well, actually, when they get in the storm in about an hour or two from now, actually, because they just left the base, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll get some more crucial data on whether or not the storm has perhaps maintained its intensity or perhaps continued to intensify here. From the last reconnaissance plane earlier this afternoon. There's water vapor imagery as well of the storm right now, and I could see just how well the storm is currently doing. Pretty much has everything going for it. Nothing can really weaken it at this point except for its own structure, and land at this point is really only two things I see weakening it at this time, as if it, of course, makes landfall or goes too close to land here, or if it has any structural internal issues with its core here that disrupt it from rapidly intensifying, which of course would be good news, but of course bad news because it would still be perhaps a potent storm for Nicaragua and Honduras. So that please keep an eye on that. And then switching basins here, we got this is no longer a typhoon here. This is Tropical Storm 22W, also known as Goni, which was about 24 hours ago. At 170 knot, a little over 24 hours ago, 170 knot, 195 mile per hour, 315 kilometer an hour super typhoon here we're looking at. But of course, now it's a tropical storm here. And of course, we also got Tropical Depression 23W, also known as Atsani. Let's first take a look quickly at Tropical Storm Goni. As of this latest forecast cone from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, and I think they may have updated here. Let me see. Don't think they have. Let me just make sure here really quick and see if they've updated it. No, they haven't yet. All right. So this is the latest forecast coming from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Excuse me. And the storm currently has 40 knot winds at this point, which is about 45 miles per hour. This makes it a weak tropical storm here. It's forecast to slightly intensify here to a 45 knot tropical storm, which is about 50 miles per hour. Before eventually it looks like making a landfall over Vietnam as around a 45 knot tropical storm there. It looks a bit. on this forecast cone. So really kind of fortunate scenario here. Originally, they were forecasting a moderate to high-end tropical storm to perhaps make landfall in Vietnam, but now it's, of course, a little bit weaker now as a kind of moderate to weak tropical storm we're talking about here compared to what could have been perhaps a low-end typhoon at max. Here's satellite imagery of the storm right now, and you can easily see why it's a tropical storm. It's, of course, being sphered right now by the outflow of tropical depression Goni up to its top right here, to the top right of your screen. Now, of course, talk about that in a second here, but this is, again, satellite imagery of that. You can see Goni here on the top right of your screen, and then here's what used to be Category 5 record-breaking super typhoon Goni here. Now, of course, a weak tropical storm. Just really incredible to see how the storm's progressed over the past 24 hours here from 170 knot, 195 mile per hour, 215 kilometer an hour super typhoon here. It's now to a weak tropical storm, and probably about to span 24 hours or less here, which is really incredible. And of course, here's the strongest storm, not the strongest storm, but forecast to be the strongest storm for the Western Pacific here throughout the next coming days. The next coming days here, since of course Goni is no longer a super typhoon by any means here, and you can see right now it's 30 knot storm right now, which is about 35 miles per hour, so of course makes it a tropical depression, and it's forecast to peak as a 75 knot Category 1, looks like Category 1 typhoon here just off the coast of Luzon here, the Philippines, but of course models are still kind of spread. Some of them take it as far north as hitting Taiwan here as a perhaps significant typhoon, and some take it as far south, of course, as hitting Luzon directly here. So pretty much a wide range of possibilities that could happen with this typhoon here. So please keep a close eye on it, even if it doesn't hit Taiwan or Luzon in the Philippines here, as you can see in this later on in this forecast cone, can perhaps pose a threat for areas near Hong Kong and Southeast China there, as you can see. So a storm to watch here regardless. And 75 knots, I believe, would be about 85 miles per hour, if I remember correctly. So that would be kind of a higher end Category 1 equivalent storm. And here's satellite imagery of Goni right now. And you can see a fairly large influence the storm has. Of course, it's not really that organized here, hence why it's still a tropical depression. But still a really large influence here. And probably one of the contributing factors that led to this super typhoon Goni weakening as fast as it did, aside from land itself weakening the system here. So just really incredible to see just how big of an influence this storm has. And again, it's still a tropical depression here, keep in mind. And usually with storms of big fluence here, say if Goni is a pretty big system like it is right now and keeps being a big system, usually it would take a system like this of this size to take a little bit longer to develop here. So it'll be interesting to see how the situation plays out here. If it decides to decrease in size here, if it maintains its size here and just gradually intensifies throughout the next coming days as it kind of stalls and meanders around this general part of the Western Pacific before making up its mind where it wants to go later. So I believe that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. Kind of probably a moderately sized one here. So that's supposed to be about it for this tropical update here. Main things to take away from this: tropical storm Goni, not really a threat anymore. Vietnam, just keep a close eye on it here. Not supposed to be as bad of a storm as that other typhoon was. I can't remember it for the life of me here. Malave. It's forecast to not be as bad as that. Of course, not forecast to be a typhoon at all here, but there's something to watch here. Could potentially give you guys some flooding rain or heavy rainfall here as it passes on by here and it gets closer to you. And of course, keep a close eye on tropical depression at Sony here. Models are really widespread on the possible scenarios and outcomes with the system here, so just please keep an eye on it. And of course, for the Atlantic here, please keep a close eye on tropical storm ETA here. Could potentially become a major and significant hurricane here and pose a really, perhaps be a really costly and unfortunately possibly deadly hurricane here later down the line here if the forecasts are right here, and if the storm does give the area a lot of rainfall. So please keep Nicaragua and Honduras in your thoughts here, and hopefully this becomes a weak tropical storm or is not as strong as forecast at landfall here. But of course, we'll see what happens throughout the next coming days. So I hope everybody has a great day or night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. I have the links in the description below. If you want to see what links that I use for this tropical update, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability here. And that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. So I hope everybody has a great day or night, wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys on the next video. Peace.